Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Mustard Seed. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Ryan. Join us on our journey.
It's Wednesday morning. You know what that means. Another fun-filled podcast with your favorite trio, duo, whatever you want to call us. We got Josh over there on the mic.
On the mic,
Yo,
upgrading
yo.
every day.
Yeah.
We came in today and now we got this new soundboard. Can you give us a little audio?
Let's see if it works. Yeah, let's see.
I hope that hit.
I hope so. I might not have that.
One day we'll be able to have some sound effects.
Yeah.
That would be pretty funny. Every time I see like a board like that or sound effects, I always think of
Just anytime I talk in a Brooklyn accent for Jesus, hey, get out of here.
yeah,
It's
you
a-
hit it. It's like in Parks and Rec, the radio
Oh,
show.
yeah.
It's
They're,
always just
they're all soundboard on that.
yeah,
yeah.
Actually,
that?
it's great you brought that up too.
turd the purd or something. No,
Yeah.
purd is the
Turd,
in the douche,
is-
or-
yeah, the turd of the douche.
Yeah.
There you go. I love that show. And then when Ann meets him at the bar, and he's like, "I'm the douche," and then he's
Yeah.
all of a sudden like goes into a completely normal conversation. Like
Yeah.
he sounds very professional, and you're like, "What the heck?" He's like, "Yeah, I went to high school. I had a tough time growing up, but." And he's like, "But I'm the douche." I love that. That show cracks me up.
That's good.
You know what I was thinking about? You know how like The Office and Parks and Rec, like those shows are like, binged by everyone. Everyone
course.
watches them.
Yes.
So those actors and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
like still when I see I'm calling him Michael Scott. When I see him and
Steve Carell.
and anything else, like what is it, Space Force? I'm like waiting for him to, like, he screams in that. I'm like, oh, that's Michael. I'm like
Exactly.
waiting for him to be Michael. Like Jim's still Jim. The only person who like kind of broke that mold is Chris Pratt, probably.
For Mandy Dwyer
Yeah.
to be able to be like Star-Lord and everything in
Yeah,
the
like,
Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah.
Everyone
What do they
else
call
is
that?
stuck.
Is that method actors or no? Is that
No,
something
it's just
different? No, I think-
you're
but
just
Typecast.
typecast.
Yeah,
Yes,
typecast.
that's it. Yeah.
they're
They-
all pretty much type, like you
Aubrey
see them and,
Plaza. I mean, she'll always be April,
you
but
know-
she's gotten into different things.
yeah, but like I'm saying, like when you see them, you
Of
only
course.
see those characters.
100%.
Like, I feel like Chris Pratt, you see him as other things now.
Yes. No, 100%. That's so funny. Like the guy who plays Kevin, what's his name? Brian Baumgartner.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
He does a lot of different like podcast
Yeah.
tours and stuff, but he like
And he
fully
doesn't
embraces
talk-
that
yeah.
he's
And
Kevin.
he does, yeah, of course, that's where the money
That's
is.
it.
Stanley,
Like, always
Stanley
Kevin.
too. Stanley goes to these conventions and takes pictures. He's
Yeah, yeah.
Stanley, and
Well, apparently Stanley, he tried to do like this Kickstarter campaign to get like a spin-off show,
of just him.
like of like his character, like Stanley, and it was called like Uncle Stanley or something
Yeah.
like that. It's like something weird, and it like was really shady. So
that didn't work. That's so
happened.
funny.
He
I
would
always-
just fill out crossword puzzles because that's all he pretty much did, and was sarcastic.
Exactly. Well, when he went to Florida, he kind of like became Stanley, Vacation Stanley, when he was driving around with the Hawaiian shirt.
Yeah, yeah.
He's like, "Come on, Jim, hop in!" Like trying to be.
You know who? What's his name? Ben Wyatt. So when I say, I don't know his real name, Adam something.
Scott.
It's
Adam
Adam Scott. So him, I didn't see him I didn't watch Parks and Rec right away. I watched it on Netflix and then loved it. But with him, I always saw him from, I saw Step Brothers, and that's what I just always saw him as. And now it's like I still see him as that jerk from Step Brothers, but I kind of like, he's Ben Wyatt, but it's still like that really
Yeah.
sticks with you. It's just funny how like the typecast, like you see someone like I don't remember his name. You ever see Big Fat Liar?
Yes.
The main villain.
Yes. Who
That
turns
guy.
blue.
Yes.
Yes.
So every time I see him, I think of that. Do you know his name?
100%.
know.
He's in a bunch of
Yeah,
like
he's-
classic.
no, yeah, he's really
older
good, yeah.
kid movies.
But he's also
What is his
a
name?
really good actor too.
Yeah, yeah. That's
we'll,
a great.
we'll get
one.
his name and we'll say it. But like he's very famous, but like he's done so many things, and I picture him as the guy turning blue with the orange eyebrows that all the time, no matter whenever I see him. So it's just funny like how your mind works and gets you stuck on something.
100%. He steals a script
Yeah.
from a little kid.
Yeah.
Kicks him out of the limo. That's a great movie too. Oh man, I love Parks and Rec and The Office. I feel like we could talk about them all day long. Do you have a preference? Like preference? Do you
I'm
have
Parks
a favorite?
and Rec.
So it's so tough for me, but I do think I put Parks and Rec just a little bit above The Office.
I've definitely watched. I've seen all The Office. You know what the problem was? It kind of tailed off when Michael Scott left. They should have kind of ended it.
Everyone does say
they just
that.
kind of stretched it for a while. And I mean, it was cool. Like they brought in Will Ferrell and they tried different things, but it was just like we said, that's Will Ferrell. We're not going to buy him in a TV show, you know?
Of course.
Right.
I do appreciate
Buddy the
how
Elf.
like exactly that's Buddy the Elf. I do appreciate though how all of the characters in The Office, like their personalities and their roles kind of expanded when Michael left. Like everyone kind of like became their own person within the show. So I still think it was great. It was worth the watch.
And
after Michael
luckily,
Scott.
everyone didn't leave because like normally one person
Sure.
leaves, they kind of spiral out.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that's the great thing about Parks and Rec. Well, actually, Parks and Rec was like kind of canceled.
Yeah,
And
then
then they
came
came back
in a little
and they
weird-
did
yeah.
they did the perfect ending.
I thought they did a good job.
you
with
know,
it. Yes, they did.
They did do the perfect ending that you could do,
Yeah.
in my
Right.
opinion.
Yeah.
I feel like in The Office, though, they really messed up Andy. They like really,
Yeah,
by, like
they
the
did.
last couple episodes, they like ruined his character.
Yes, that was always kind of weird. They made him cry on American Idol and stuff, and it was
and
like,
just like mocked him.
Yeah,
and all that
yes.
stuff. Come on,
and he
bro.
left.
You know what's funny? Actually, he kind of broke the out because he was in The Hangover, and that's what I see him more as the Hangover guy than Andy more.
True. Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
Remember when we can't jump in every episode, but with Andy, remember when Jim put the phone in and he kept
Yeah.
calling it and he punched
That's
the
when he
hole in
punched
it,
the wall.
and Jim just hangs up. He's like,
It was his own ringtone. He's
Yeah.
like doo 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 doo
Yeah,
doo
yeah,
doo doo,
yeah.
and he like sang it a
Yeah,
cappella.
the Rock and Robin song.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that one.
and he couldn't
That's
find it
so
in the
good.
ceiling tile, and he punched the wall, and then poor Andy had to go to anger management, and everyone was
He's like-
ostracizing him because of that, and it's like all Jim's fault.
He goes to the interview at the end. He's like, I'm going to management training. He's like, anger management training. But it's like, he's so funny.
Yeah,
I
that
love
was
all
a
that
good
show.
one.
That was good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's so great. I could watch that all day long. That's one of the things that like you just put that show on whenever and just watch it.
Yeah.
I've rewatched those.
Yeah, it could be background
Yeah,
show, you know.
totally,
Yeah.
totally. So
And
I
then
just
you
looked
catch
up
things.
the villain was Paul Giamatti.
Yeah, it's Paul Giamatti.
yes.
So he was in one of my favorite movies. He was in Cinderella Man. Right?
Yes.
I
Oh,
think
yes.
He played with, with Russell Crowe, like his manager or whatever.
Yes.
He's been in so many things. He's got a list on
IMBD.
Yeah, so long, and I
yeah.
remember as the blue guy. you
Yeah,
know?
it's Blue Guy. Exactly. But he's done some serious roles too.
Oh, yeah.
But he's always like,
Oscar worthy. I don't know if he actually
Definitely.
did it, but
Yeah, I don't know.
yeah,
He's done a
Paul
lot of stuff.
Giamatti.
yeah.
Yeah, he's a classic.
Cool.
I do like him. So cool. All right, so let's change gears here before we get into our topic. I did have a question for you, just because we love talking about sports. This was something that just reminded me of like our childhood in a little bit because so Aaron Judge obviously having such a great year, 43 home runs.
Oh yeah, I've been kind of watching.
I'm
It's-
hope
you see the numbers of like Barry Bonds and like that, yeah.
crazy. Well, that's what I was getting at because I've been seeing a lot of articles now talking about can he keep pace? You know, what's he gonna finish at, right? And everyone always talks about 60 and 73. Obviously, do you think anyone will ever hit more than 73 home runs in a major league season?
I don't know. I feel like that's kind of dead, but Aaron
I feel like it's
Judge,
almost impossible.
yeah, he's he might tire out and just I don't know.
Right,
I love it.
73 is
Well, you know what's
unreal.
dead in baseball? Like 300 wins. I don't think we'll see 300 wins from it. I think it's going to be like 200 now.
Yes,
And like that's Hall of Fame worthy because 300, like
does
they don't pitch long
Verlander have
enough.
300?
I'm not sure.
He's got to be close.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about just like records, and I mean, what Bonds did that season was just different. I mean,
Yeah.
if you have steroids, that can help you too. But that 73 home runs is unreal. Judge needs like 30. He literally needs 30 more home runs to tie that for the rest of the year, which is
There's
crazy.
2 months left, so
Yeah,
I
so he
don't-
needs
I don't know.
15 each month.
Yeah.
It's possible. It's definitely
yeah,
possible.
it helps that he's in Yankee Stadium. Short
Well,
porch.
You know, it's
You
an
know.
easy thing to say.
Yeah,
It's not the
320,
easiest.
318.
It's still look. There's a short.
I mean,
porch, but
Judge isn't
everyone plays
hitting
it.
little dingers, but
No.
little things, but
Yeah, I get you.
yeah.
I just love how that's always the first thing about Yankee Stadium. It's a small park. It's really not
baseball
that.
heaven's bigger.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. It's not the smallest ballpark in Major League, but it's
Baseball
very friendly.
heaven's 330 on the both
On the corners?
Yeah,
I mean, look at Fenway Park on down the right field line.
the monster though.
I mean, the monster is as short as ever. But
Yeah, short.
it reminded me too, this little seeing like these conversations about Judge hitting all the home runs and what he could get reminded me of the Sammy Sosa.
I think it was
Mark
one
McGwire
one
race.
under Bonds, like where Bonds was at the time.
Yeah, Bonds is just his
But
pace was
it was
different.
you know, that was a different time, and a Met fan I remember caught that ball, and it's in the Hall of Fame with the asterisk.
The 73 asterisk
Yeah,
the 73 home
fan
run?
carved
or the all-time home run
73.
73
Oh,
or
is it
715.
the all time?
750.
Might be the all time. I
Yeah.
remember the fan carved the asterisks in it, and it's in the Hall of Fame.
We watched that at your house.
Yeah,
Do you remember that? Like we hated Barry Bonds.
yeah.
I mean, it was one of those things that when you're young and like watching it, I think just because we knew the steroid conversation, it was like this guy cheats. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I look back now and it's unreal what he did, regardless of steroids or not. But I remember watching it. I can vividly remember sitting in your living room and they were playing the Nationals, and they hit the home run, and he just stood at home plate with his hands in the air. I remember being so upset about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are crazy stats.
Pujols, everyone thought was going to be the savior, and
He had a chance.
They thought A-Rod before all his scandals. You know,
He had a chance too.
everyone always had hope, and now it's Trout. You got to put your hope in Trout, but I don't know if he'll
don't know.
do it.
His back now is becoming a problem. But
Uh-oh.
maybe Shohei
What,
Ohtani.
carrying the Angels to above that to any relevance?
Yeah,
But
my goodness. Hey, this guy in the Yankees farm system, Jason Dominguez, looks like a monster. I'm gonna put that out there. Maybe he'll become maybe he'll have a chance.
you never know.
You never know. It would be neat to witness
That's the
something like that
problem, though.
again.
It's always like they look great, and then they come up, and then they come to the show, and they can't do it.
And the longevity. I mean, for them to be doing it for such a long period of time, like that's the thing about Bonds. Bonds was a Hall of Famer before he decided to use steroids. His stats were crazy, and then he watched Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa
Yeah.
tear up the majors, get all the publicity because of hitting home runs, and he was like, "I'm batting 330 with 40 homers and 40 stolen bases, and no one's talking about me." So then he just blew up.
Yeah.
Became an absolute monster. 73. That's a crazy number. So it's exciting to watch, though. I'm enjoying Judge doing his thing right now.
Yeah.
It's been fun. Hey.
So yesterday
Oh, yeah.
Logan was a ring bearer. He did an amazing job for how long he was there. We're very proud. He actually took pictures.
Nice.
It's amazing. Like from November, he was Sammy's ring bearer, my sister-in-law, and he, just turned 2, so he wasn't like that good. And plus, well, what do you have? What do you call that? Krog?
Oh,
Krug.
Crope.
Croup.
Yeah.
He had croup, so like
crazy.
that was a big factor into his day there. But that was in November. Now, almost being 3, he was like really good, actually listening, taking pictures. He walked down, no problem. I mean, he won it out after the reception. As soon as he got down, I was blocked off. I was supposed to get him. You know what's funny? They had their dog as the flower girl, right?
Okay.
Yeah. Luna, the dog, very good dog.
Nice.
But the dog had the babysitter and like a handler, right? So I felt, and I was not in the party, obviously, but Jessica was in it and Logan was in it.
You were
And
Logan's handler.
Yeah, so I was Logan's handler standing back with the dog. It was just funny. At one point, they're both in the picture and we're both standing behind the camera. I was like, yeah, that one's mine. I'm in charge of that one.
She's like talking to the dog. She's like,
Yeah.
yeah, he's doing so well.
Hey, the dog Luna was very good. They had one of those hovering,
Like a drone?
drones. And like, I know like Sadie or Jameson would have been,
Nuts all
so
over that.
scared and
Yeah.
running away. So,
Yeah. That's pretty good.
yeah, he was not, she was not running away.
Logan looked sharp in his little tux.
Yeah, Logan looked really good.
He looked so cute
yeah.
with his hair combed over. He looking great.
So he did a really good job. And then right after the reception, when he got to the aisle, I couldn't get there. It was blocked off. So I was trying to get to him, like trying to figure it out. So he's standing by Jess, and he's like, "Mommy, let's go back up the aisle." I was like ready to go before anything even started.
He's already planning his exit.
Yep. And then I was able to get to him and got him out of there, and we just sat. He turns very rosy if he's in the sun or whatever he's very like and he puffs up like rosy, like it's weird.
Wow. It's not great with the sun. He's got fair skin, that's for sure. He's always squinting at the sun too. I guess that's a blue eyes thing.
Yeah, it's like, oh, what is that bright ball up there?
Get this out of here. Oh, you know what is a fun name for the sun? I didn't know this, but I heard that hikers and everything call the sun Bob.
Bob?
Big orange ball. Yeah, big orange ball. Bob. Yeah, I'm gonna start calling the sun Bob now.
That's why I don't hike.
Yeah, right. That's I guess the part I heard that on Catholic Stuff podcast. But it just it was kind of funny.
I don't like to hike.
I don't like to hike. I've actually really wanted to hike, and I kind of want to make that a goal of mine. To start, we got a Empire Pass, like for the New York State parks and everything, because we go over to Sunken Meadow a lot, and they charge you if you during the summertime. So we got the pass, and it gives you access to all the parks in the state. And there are so many really nice,
like Bear Mountain and stuff like that. Oh,
yeah, even way upstate, like the Adirondacks.
Yes,
it's fantastic. I've been up there several times, and it's really wonderful to hike and camp, and it's great.
I want to experience that one day. Like I want to go hiking just to one. It's so cool being outside, but like those views and everything, like that's so neat. One of these days, maybe we'll do a little mustard seed hits the road.
I did one hike, and I didn't know we were doing a hike. It was in Japan.
That usually doesn't end
well. We were going to Monkey Park, right? Okay. And when you hear park, you think flat ground, a park. It was on top of a mountain. Oh, no. And we had to hike it. And I was not prepared. It was horrible.
Were you wearing shoes that were like...
no, I think I had sneakers on, but it was like, maybe I had long pants. I don't know. It was very hot that day. And weird thing too, it's like they had random vending machines at that, you get up. They have vending machines everywhere in Japan, and they had random vending machines on the top, like going up the mountain. It was just so weird.
If you need a refuel,
they get you. But the thing is, they don't sell water in those things. Everything's soda and carbonated. Like Japan's hard to get water, but it was worth it when we got to the top. But like next time, maybe I gotta know before I hike.
Yeah, that's something I don't know. You got to be prepared for a hike.
Yeah.
Like a little bit
name it Monkey on top of a hill, not Monkey Park, Crazy.
A little misleading.
Yeah. Monkey, you want to see the monkeys, you got to hike.
Yeah, exactly. Were there actual monkeys?
Yeah. Oh. And you could feed them peanut. They're like, don't look them in the eye. They're wild monkeys. Yeah. Don't look them in the eye. Don't squat down to their level. It's like almost like kind of they're not bamboos, but Japanese snow monkeys. That's what they are. I don't know if you ever seen them. They're they kind of look like baboons. They got gray hair, red face, red butt.
That's so funny. Yeah. Don't look them in the eyes.
Yeah, you feed them apples and peanuts.
Wow. But you're looking the other way. Just give them a quick little gate. They'll take your eyes.
I think it's like aggression, right? If you look them square in the eyes, and they'll go after you.
They think you're going. Yeah, you make them mad.
That's so funny.
Actually, when I visited James when he was in college, we went to the zoo in Washington, D.C., and we went to the gorilla exhibit, and we were like looking at the glass, and the gorilla's staring at us, and we're like fascinated. Gorillas you could just stare at forever. They're so fascinating. This gorilla got so mad at us. It had a tub. It like pounded his chest, had a tub, and threw it at the glass.
Are you serious? Yeah. Oh my gosh. Aggressive.
Yeah. I think I caught a picture of it throwing it. I was like, oh, wow.
Oh, that's so wild.
Yeah.
Gorillas and monkeys are awesome. I love watching those things, those exhibits. That was so funny. Every time we talk about gorillas, I always think about Harambe and how we went to Disney the same summer that Harambe happened, and it was like Harambe Park and everything. Yeah. What a time. Shout out Harambe, our sweet prince.
Yeah.
Yeah. Awesome. We should get a monkey on the podcast one day.
Yeah.
Monkeys
Harambe has a son. We can try to interview his son.
Oh, really?
And if you look,
I'm so glad he lives on.
Yeah.
We almost lost him, so that's
Yeah.
great. Well,
but maybe we should dive into a little bit of
yeah,
what
a
we're
little
doing
topic today. Our mustard seed.
We're doing the one where Sarah laughs, and it's short to the point. And so at this point, I don't know how old Abraham was. He was like 100 and something.
I think they were both 90, actually.
Were they? I thought
Yeah,
I
I
thought he was a little older. I know she was 90.
Sarah, 99.
99.
99.
He's
99 years
99?
old. Abraham's 99.
And she was 90.
She was 90.
Yeah, I knew he was a little older.
Yeah, so this is the Old Testament. This is Genesis 17 and 18.
Yep.
So we're going into the beginning.
And we were starting Abraham's massive line that helped shape our world today.
His descendants, they'll multiply.
Actually, weird question. Where did remember? Well, they always say like when before Jesus and you perished, right? You would go to Abraham's bosom. You ever hear that?
Yeah, I've heard that.
That's
line
a thing,
before.
right?
Yep. Abraham's bosom. Is it bosom a bum?
No,
chest.
That's so funny. In my head, I always think it's
it's probably like just people. He just kept them close to their hearts and kept that. Yeah.
Yes,
that would be pretty bad. You die and you get sent to the butt.
Bosom for me, for the longest time, my brain thinks butt. So they're both B words. You're not going to Abraham's bosom. You're going to his bosom.
Yeah. So with Abraham's bosom, it was like a holding cell,
like a purgatory.
Yeah. Similar
waiting
to
for
that
Jesus.
before Christ came, as to allowing people to get to go to heaven.
Is that something we still believe today, like as Catholics and Christians?
No. So since Christ came, he broke the veil.
Yes.
So now people have a chance to go straight to
so
heaven
that's
or
the
purgatory
door.
or hell. So yeah. So when after he died, he like descended into hell. So that line, right? So apparently he went to like Abraham's bosom and he cleared it out and gave everyone the choice. You want to go to hell? Do you want to go to heaven? And then from there, he closed that, that location and then just made, so heaven, hell, and purgatory. So
that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's neet to connect all that. That's why he needed 3 days.
So like that's one thing. Anytime
imagine choosing.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay here, Jesus. Yeah. You do your thing.
Yeah. Could you imagine?
That's wild.
Anytime I think of Abraham, I always think of that, and then I always think about like how weak Isaac was when he was gonna, because his dad was like probably 150 when he was gonna sacrifice him.
We did talk about that on one of the episodes. Yeah, taking Isaac up the hill. Isaac is, I'm pretty sure 30 was the number that we came to when we were reading that, and he was just, very weak. My dad's about to just sacrifice me. No big deal.
Because it said he fought back, but but he didn't. Like he understood. But we talked about that. And,
we did. We had an episode on that back in the day.
But
so we're talking about Sarah today.
Yeah.
So this is like the beginning of Abraham's line of descendants, basically, because
how it was going to start. They didn't have any children at the time.
Ishmael was.
He had right.
So Sarah couldn't have children, but she had a maid, and
yes.
Abraham had a child, Ishmael, with the maid. But this is when God appeared to him outside of the tent.
It was three people.
Yeah,
right?
So that part was interesting.
Angels and
yeah. So I thought about that. I was like, "There's 3 men that showed up to the tent." And I was like, "Is that like a foreshadowing of the Trinity? You know, like
maybe
the Father, Son, and the Holy
I was
Spirit?"
thinking about that too.
Because it basically like they identify. They say 3 men, and then it's just like the Lord.
And he was,
and then
like he kind of didn't know. I think he just went over to them.
And it was just like
Sarah cook for them.
Yeah, he says, "My Lord." Like everything was kind of singular after that.
Yeah,
so that was interesting. I thought that was kind of a neat thing.
So it depends on what camp you're in. It's either the Trinity or angels. So.
Or angels. Yeah. Oh, cool. We got to pick a side, I guess.
Yes,
but that's really interesting. Yeah, so that's cool. I like how that started. So he shows up.
He was feeding them, right? And then he says, "By this time next year, when I come back, you will have a son." And Sarah hears that she's inside. She laughs, and he says, like, "Why is she laughing?" Calls her out and like asked her, and she's like, "I didn't laugh."
He's like, "No, but you did."
Yeah, you laughed.
Imagine that. Yeah. Yeah, God knows everything. Yeah. She's inside the tent. She laughs. I mean, that's such a...
He's like, 10 years in your husband's bosom.
You're going to the... Going right there.
You're going to laugh at me. But what a miracle, though, too, is like
Yeah.
not
goodness.
talked about enough about, you got the miracle of Christ and all that, but the miracle pretty much of Isaac as well, her being 90.
90 years old.
No one I met plenty of 90-year-olds. I don't think they're fit like how these two were.
No, it's crazy. It is interesting throughout all of the Old Testament,
You know what
the
they
ages
say?
of these
90 is the new 40,
That's
right?
it. There you go. Shout out the Old Testament. Yeah, I mean, I mean, of course you're gonna laugh.
Like
How do you
reading
laugh?
that though is like so amazing, like how they lived for that long and just the faith that he had and sacrifice that probably helped a lot of his it probably helped a lot of his life expand. But it's just amazing just reading that and just like you can't fathom that age.
Of course.
Yeah, I can't imagine being 80,
Exactly. Imagine just being 80.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool theme throughout the Old Testament, kind of the people that prosper, and those people are the ones who follow and listen to the Lord.
Like look at Jesus's, like people died at 30,
Yeah.
like in that time because
Yeah,
of like disease or something where they, couldn't heal or didn't know things. So like at like 13, you're a man or a woman and ready to go into
You
the
still
world.
got
And
200 years to live.
yeah. And imagine like back then, like living that long and then having a kid at 90. So it's like,
It's a pretty wild thing to think about. That's why Sarah left. Sarah's like,
yeah,
what the
90. Oh, you know how old I am.
I
I
can't
got
do this.
dentures.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's amazing.
It is amazing. And I think that I thought about it, right? I was like, has there ever been a time, like, would you be able to think about a time that God's made you laugh? Like you've laughed at God's plans for you? I was trying to like visualize that because I was like, that's such an interesting thought of like Sarah laughing. Basically, God is revealing his plans and saying to them, you're going to have a child. And
Yeah.
I love the line that he says, I got to find it. Is there anything too hard for the Lord? That's it.
Yeah.
It's like, that's the reminder for us. It's like, is there anything too hard for the Lord? Like the Lord can do all things, right? He's all powerful. So I was thinking about it. I was trying to remember or think back to my life and be like, has there ever been a time where I've had something kind of be presented to myself where I couldn't help but be like, this is crazy. I mean, the first thought is like, Elliot, when you find out that you're going to have a baby, I mean, how do you not be like, wow, like this is nuts. I can't believe that this is happening. But I actually felt like I did have a moment this past spring.
Think about it too. I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
Just like again, I keep saying it, I don't want to keep, but I haven't. How old were you when Elliot was born?
27.
27, and I was 29 when Logan was born. And at that time too, it's like, oh man, what do I do? So, and we're young, so imagine being that
90.
age and being like, being Abraham 99 having his first kid with his wife, like, oh man,
Talk about I'm getting too old for this.
the toddler stage.
He's living it out. Yeah, I run around right now chasing Elliot.
Yeah, and I'm tired.
And I'm
I'm
tired,
tired.
exactly.
32, and can't imagine.
Abraham, hey, he was young for a 99-year-old. But yeah, I mean, it's such a cool image to think about that. It's like, how many times have you, I mean, I feel like I make God laugh all the time by telling him my plans. That's a classic line. But I thought about that. I was like, has there ever been a moment in my life where something has been presented to me and I felt, like, how can this happen, right? How can this be? And I don't think I could ever like have any experience that has been as close to like something like this with Sarah, because that's, like you said, a miracle, right? That's something that's just so far beyond, what can happen in the world. I did have something like on a smaller scale, and I guess I'll keep it objective because this is being released probably Wednesday. But the work for me throughout these past like year or so, I've always had this like kind of desire to do something larger in my work, and kind of I've been through different opportunities where I've seen people be able to create something like a brand from the ground up and have so much success with it and be a part of it from the beginning and be able to put your touch in it and really build something and have like a real piece of it. So that was something that in my head, I was always like, man, that would be so cool if one day throughout my career, I might have that opportunity.
Yeah.
And then throughout like this past year, I've been trying to consider, if there's if I should make a move right in my career. And I decided, allow the Lord to let it happen, right? So just kind of go about my way, and the Lord will ultimately make that
Figure
decision.
you.
Yeah. And you get so many different people that reach out in LinkedIn about just jobs and opportunities. And most of the time I wouldn't really pick up. This one time I was like, it felt personal. And I was like, let me explore it. And that was literally the opportunity that was presented to me, was the ability to get in at something on the ground floor and to build something and to be like one of the original guys. And I remember like thinking about being on the phone call, listening to all of that, and I had goosebumps. And I couldn't help but laugh. Like we hung up on the phone and I was laughing. I was like, this is nuts.
Yeah.
Like how is this happening? How is this a potential opportunity? And how is it happening now? Like at this point in my life, like I never felt like I'd have it until years down the line. So it reminded me of that today. I was like, man, I guess I have had a moment where I've laughed. Like God has made me laugh. But I think the challenge for us through all of this, like Sarah I feel like Sarah laughed and doubted in a way. I think it's about laughing and embracing, and embracing what God has for you. So there's definitely some challenges and tests ahead of us, but it's allowing God's hand to be involved with everything that we do.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that smile? I feel like you got something to say.
No. I was just, yeah, I wish also like, because God was down in, I guess, human form, right? Just sitting there eating,
Hanging out.
I wish we knew what he looked like. I wish they wrote that down, right? You picture a
Abraham should have
balding
documented.
guy, big, heavier set, balding guy. I don't know why.
They killed the fatted
Just
calf
happy.
for a reason. God had a big appetite.
Yeah, all those sacrifices, you got to eat them, right? Back then. But
yeah, it's a cool story. I forgot about this story, to be honest. This was one of those parts of the Bible that you can kind of just like glaze over a little
it's
bit.
very also humbling, and just to show like you think your life's going one way, God's got plans for you that way, and this is the direction you're going. So that's exactly why she left, probably, because like the age and just like I'm done.
Yeah. She says it right, because I think it said it was like I can't. She laughed to herself. I've grown old. My
Yeah.
husband is old, right? Like how can I bear a child now? I'm old.
Yeah, and she got how many more years with extra 30, that we know of, right?
Nothing. Yeah, nothing is impossible with God.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cool part. It's a cool way to remind ourselves that God is all powerful. Actually, that reminds me of a song. Talk about songs this week. The trend. Finishing up with that. When we were at high school, we would always have songs. They would play music in homeroom for us, and one of the best songs that everyone would go so like happy for was "Awesome God" by Glad. Just it's literally the song like "Our God is an awesome God."
Yeah.
I mean that's just an amazing song.
I just
Sometimes
picture my church choir singing that.
yeah. They would play it, and it would be like a music video, and it was always like mountains and hills and crazy things. But I don't know, Josh, if you have the ability to put this up on the site or on the video for anyone that's watching.
What, the song?
No, the people who play or who sing the song, they are awesome. Their name is Glad, GLAD. Some maybe their images aren't as crazy as I thought, because we would watch, like I said, at homeroom, they would play the music video. I'm gonna try and look up the Glad. Be ye glad music video.
It's
These
not like
guys,
a washing machine detergent.
Glad is Glad is like a bag. You put bags in it, like Glad kitchen thing. I gotta find this music video because these guys just stand around the piano and sing their song, and they're like, one guy is bald on the top of his head and it's like long hair on the back. It's just like a classic older looking group. But that's just so funny. I always think about that.
Remember
those
that?
guys.
You ever remember the teacher from Ned's Classified? That's what I'm picturing right now. Just like bald up here, but he combed it.
Talk about a comb over.
Yeah.
Ned's Classified. That's a classic show. I love that show. Cookie and
It's actually
Moe's.
on Netflix.
Yes, it is on Netflix, right? I was watching it there.
But it was weird. They're best friends with the janitor.
Yes, and he was so cool.
Yeah.
But,
That's a great show.
Yeah, let's.
Yeah, so that's a good. This was a mustard seed.
Yeah.
Nice little short for us to talk about today in the
I
Bible.
got a little shout out before we head out.
Yeah.
So one of our followers' mothers passed away. She asked if we could just mention it and ask everyone to pray for her. Hefner, Kathy Hefner, asked us to pray for her mom. So we appreciate you following and us each week. And she is with Jesus now, and everything smiling down on you, watching over. You got a new guardian angel.
There you go. Yeah, thoughts and prayers. That's a great shout out. I gotta just shout out just us. I think that's a weird thing to do, but shout out us. We're plugging away. I mean, we're out here still doing episode after episode, and I am excited for what's ahead. For you guys always pushing this and kind of making this happen.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to just continuing to grow.
Yeah, me too. Keep liking, sharing, subscribing. The more likes and shares and subscribers we get suggested to other people, and maybe someone needs to see a little lightheartedness and a little Bible talk, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you just need a little something to get through the week, and maybe we can be that for someone.
Definitely.
But
Dad
we
life.
said, yeah, dad life. I wore this for Abraham and Sarah, you know.
Congrats, Abraham and Sarah.
Yeah, congrats.
Congrats on the baby.
But
Cool.
yeah, we appreciate you guys. Links below. Please subscribe.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Peace.